reporting for Katie Chats here in downtown Toronto with filmmaker REBEKAH REIKO. How does it feel to have your film In Art We Trust screening at Docnow coming up soon?
Yeah, it's a really great feeling to finally have my film exposed. And yeah, it's premiering at Docnow, and that's going to take place after Hot Docs at the Bloor Hot Docs Cinema. And yeah, I'm really excited to see all my friends and family who are coming out to see it. And yeah, there's about we have about 400 followers on Facebook right now for our film festival. It's a film and photography festival, Docnow, and it's happening all around the city. There's going to be 2 screenings at the Bloor Hot Docs on May 29th and the 30th, and then there's going to be photo exhibitions all around the city. And you could find out more information on docnow.ca.
And tell me a little bit about how you stumbled across the art house in Berlin.
So I was on Orientburgerstrasse, that's where the art house was located, and I saw the building and I wanted to explore it, but I was a bit scared at first because it was the dead of winter and it was really cold and it didn't look like there was too much going on in the house. But I walked in anyways, and I spoke to some artists that were working on the 4th floor at the time, and they told me about some conflict they had with a bank that took possession of the building 2 years before I got there. And so I thought it was a really interesting story because the artist had been there for 22 years, ever since the wall came down in '89, and they pretty much been working. There's been about 100 artists working there on and off, and I thought it was really interesting how suddenly they were being kicked out. Yeah, so I just decided to make a documentary about the last days of this art house being open. The art house is called Tacheles, and so I decided to base my film on their story and what would happen. And as a documentary filmmaker, you don't really know once you start filming a story what's going to happen. So I got back to Berlin in June 2012, and the first day I got there, I spoke to some artists, and they said that the art house was going to shut down that day. So I was like pretty discouraged, and then I just kind of went every single day after that and just filmed what was going on. And then my film pretty much ended up being a film about those last days of what happened in the art space. So yeah, and I just thought it was important to give recognition to this building because it had been part of Berlin's culture for so long.
Tell me a little bit about the artwork that we could have seen in this building throughout the years.
Well, it was a performance space. There was a great theater there. I wasn't fortunate enough to see it because by the time I got there it was gone, but there's also this incredible backyard space that had all sorts of sculptures, and there was also people living back there, and there was also a nature sanctuary. And yeah, because it was just a large abandoned building that just became inhabited by these artists after the wall came down, and pretty much police and authority didn't do anything about it because the East and the West were going through a reunification process. So it was really difficult to have a hold on like every small thing that was going on in the city. So eventually these artists were able to inhabit the space, and they did all sorts of things, pretty much anything you could imagine. They were like painting and doing all sorts of performances and installation work. And then there's a large club at the base of the building called Club Zapata, and it was a really happening spot. And the art house was always open 24 hours, 7 days a week. So it was open for anyone, and like the public started coming in more like once they started installing windows in the building and made the building more safe. Because the building was pretty much in ruins because it had gone through World War I, World War II. It was established in 1907 as a Jewish department store, and my film speaks a bit about that. I spend about like 10 minutes of the film just going through the history and explaining what happened to the actual physical structure of the house before the artists inhabited it. So it's a short film, so I wasn't able to like talk about everything, but I speak about the main points that I found most fascinating about the place.
How did you go about getting your interviews?
Because I was there every day, everyone got to know my face, and I kind of became like one of the artists that were like there all the time. But I was documenting what they were doing, so it was an very interesting experience meeting people. And then I did about 25 interviews, and then I chose about 5 or 6 to put in the movie.
And where's the best place, again, to find out more information on you and on the film, and also on your work as a photographer online?
Well, you could go to REBEKAHREIKO.com to find some of my photography, and some of my film work will be up there soon. And you could also go to Docnow.ca to find out more about the film.
And what types of projects do you hope to develop in the future?
Well, I'm actually not sure about that yet, but I hope to work on some more documentaries after I'm done my program, which is in June. So, yes, I don't know.
Thank you so much. Congratulations on getting into Docnow, and best of luck with the film.
Great. Thank you so much.
I'm Katie Ullman reporting for Katie Chats here in downtown Toronto.